APH presents a homegrown video featuring students who are deafblind using APH products.
Hello, my name is Kathy Nelson with the Teacher Training Program at the University of Utah. During the next several minutes, you're going to meet 4 young people who are deafblind. Deafblindness is defined as a concomitant hearing and visual impairment, the combination of which causes such severe communication and other developmental and educational needs that they cannot be accommodated in special education programs for children with deafness or children with blindness. The young people you are about to meet range in age from 2 to 15 years, and like all individuals in society, are a diverse group. They have varying ability levels and different interests. Each individual in this video has a different cause as well as a different level of vision and hearing loss. Each is unique and has a unique way of learning. Regardless of age, ability level, or interest, students who are deafblind can and do learn. In this video, you will see and hear how these students use and benefit from a variety of educational materials from the American Printing House for the Blind. The materials you see them using are appropriate for their age, ability levels, and interests, and may also be appropriate for students in your classroom who are deafblind or who are visually impaired with additional disabilities. While watching each student, please keep in mind the impact that deafblindness, the dual sensory loss, has on development and learning, communication, access to information, and the student's ability to interact with materials. The first child I'd like to introduce you to is 2-year-old Blake. Let's listen as his early interventionist Melissa tells us a little bit about Blake.
Blake's vision loss. He is diagnosed with cortical vision impairment. He is also diagnosed with right ear neuropathy. His vision loss is more of how the information gets to the brain, so we have to teach him how to see, how to look. I give him a lot of tactile clues. If I want him to move his leg, I'll push his leg or touch his foot. I give him a lot of sound cues too. Give him a lot of praise. He does well with praise. How he communicates back is he does a lot of vocalizations.
Melissa told us that Blake has been diagnosed as having CVI, or cortical visual impairment. For more information on CVI, you may visit the APH website at www.aph.org and click on the APH CVI website button. And now I'd like for you to meet Samuel. Samuel is 8 years old and attends public school. Amy is Samuel's classroom teacher.
Samuel is diagnosed with Charge syndrome, which he does have a vision and hearing impairment. He uses his vision very well. We do not know exactly how much he does hear, but he wears a hearing aid during the day, and we use an FM system during instructional activities. Samuel currently uses the On the Way to Literacy books. We've just introduced him to us recently this year. He had some literacy goals put into his IEPs. Samuel uses an object schedule or a calendar box all day long to let him know where he's supposed to be, what activities he's supposed to be doing, and it helps him to transition throughout the day. So when we use the On the Way to Literacy books, we usually try to put an object in the calendar box related to the book so that he can know that he's going to go sit down at the desk and read the book, and then he can get the book and kind of relate it to him. We use signs and real objects as much as possible, as well as voice and words. Receptively, he understands several functional signs very well. Expressively, he uses his own gestures and vocalizations that people close to him can interpret. We do coactive signing with him, as well as getting him to model signs.
Next, let's meet 15-year-old Lynn and her mother Ann, as Ann talks about Lynn's vision and hearing impairments.
Lynn was 2 years old when she was diagnosed with cancer of the retinas, and both eyes were removed, so she has no vision at all. She had chemotherapy for the cancer, and it was an ototoxic chemotherapy, so it damaged her hearing. She has bilateral hearing loss from the chemotherapy. She wears hearing aids in both ears when she goes to school, or when it's important that she differentiates sound conversation. Lynn's speech had started to develop. She didn't have a lot of vocabulary, but she was actually bilingual in Yupik Eskimo and English before using the chemotherapy, so she had her speech at least started before her hearing loss. I mean, we have several goals for Lynn. The first is to advance her vocabulary, her social skills, her mathematical skills, you know, anything dealing with education, as well as reading.
We'll come back to Lynn and her mother later. Next is 12-year-old Tyler. He's faced some unique challenges of his own. Stephanie and Kurt talk about their son Tyler's deafblindness, his cochlear implant, and some of their goals for Tyler.
I'm Stephanie Kavanaugh.
And I'm Kurt Kavanaugh. And who are you?
Who are you?
I'm Tyler Kavanaugh.
Tyler's 12 and a half, and he was born blind and deaf. When Tyler was born, we were told initially that he was anophthalmic, meaning without eyes, that he would see nothing, that he was profoundly deaf, would hear nothing. And shortly after he was born, we noticed that he would flinch when we took flash pictures of him and cracking with his head. So we knew there must be something there, and we just decided to keep up with it. Because when he was about 5, he had tubes put in both ears because of a large number of ear infections, and he came out of the tube surgery hearing nothing. I mean, we thought there wasn't much to lose. He lost all of it. So we immediately ran to our local cochlear implant surgeon and said, we need to be assessed right now because we have no way to communicate with this child. We were so used to speaking and having him listen in his way and respond that we were just frantic. So he was assessed and he was implanted when he was 5 and a half, and very, very quickly took to his implant. But his speech really, really came along very rapidly after that.
Like, whoa.
It's really interesting though how our goals have kind of progressed along with Tyler, because in the beginning, when he was very little, our goals for him were for him to be healthy and to be able to hear us well enough to communicate. Then they were to sign, then they were to speak, then they were to go to school, and now he's been in the gifted program in public school since 3rd grade. I think our goals are sort of advancing just ahead of Tyler, but certainly now they're for him to go to college.
Now that you've met our 4 students, we'd like for you to see how they use and benefit from a variety of APH products and materials. 2-year-old Blake receives individual early intervention services from a vision specialist in his home and participates in a small activities group. Vision specialist Melissa talks about their goals and some intervention strategies she uses with Blake as he uses APH products.
With the light box, I was really trying to get him to just look at the light box, be aware of the light. He's very aware of the light. You can tell he gives you a response. It's a real quick response, but as soon as a light comes on, you know, you'll see him make a reaction. But with the Invisiboard, again, just having him localized, doing just a tad bit of shift gaze between 2 objects.
As with all children with motor impairments, it is critical to provide appropriate support to assist with stability and positioning so that vision can be accessed. Appropriate positioning will vary with each child, so it's important to find the positions that best allow each student to maximize any vision potential. As Melissa told us, she uses the light box with Blake to provide maximum contrast for the objects he's interacting with and to help him direct his gaze. The green overlay is used with the light box because green is the color that Blake prefers. The Invisiboard also provides good contrast for Blake and blocks out visual clutter from the environment as he looks at objects as they move into his visual field. The unique characteristics of the Revolution and Ribbit balls make them favorite products to use as intervention tools at the park. The bell inside the Revolution ball continues to sound for approximately 20 seconds after it stops rolling, which can help Blake know where the ball is. The Ribbit ball's colors were designed specifically for children with cortical visual impairment in mind. In addition, the inflatable Ribbit ball has ribs which make it easy for a child to grasp. It also has a unique crinkly sound when grasped, which provides nice auditory feedback. And activity with the balls provide opportunities for turn-taking and other interactive skills. Now let's join Samuel again as Amy begins to introduce the On the Way to Literacy books into his school program.
Hey, are you ready? Can you open the book for me, please, Samuel? Let's use those hands. Let's use these hands. Open that book for me, buddy. Open it. No. Right now, Samuel uses the On the Way to Literacy books. During our morning routine, the students are expected to sit down and look through books as we get our backpacks put away. So he does show interest in those. And we use them mainly just as well as the rest of our class just to expose him to literacy, which is, related to our curriculum that is expected to be taught here. As far as the literacy activities, we really just want Samuel to attend to the book, attend to the task, to participate by turning the pages and feeling the objects, and we also want him to show some comprehension between the sign and the real objects and the topic of the book. So.
After reading the Littlest Pumpkin book, Samuel enjoys the corresponding puzzle. Let's take a look as Samuel works to complete the Littlest Pumpkin puzzle.
Can you do the puzzle? Where's the pumpkin? Let's do the pumpkin puzzle, okay? Look right here. Take out the mouth and the nose. Oh, and his two eyes. You got them? Okay, now you have to put it together. You need to put the pieces in the puzzle. Let's put them in, okay? It's hard, isn't it? There. Okay, where's his nose? Let's find his nose. Where's his nose? There you go. Good job. Push it down. I'm helping you on your own. Good job. All right. Now where does the pumpkin go? Where is his face? Now that he has his face, where does the pumpkin go? Yeah. There you go. All right. Push him in there.
As we've seen, Amy uses sign language and speech together to communicate information to Samuel. But notice that Amy introduces the reading activity to Samuel by also using a calendar box system, providing him with another cue about the activity that is about to take place. Because literacy opportunities have only recently been written into Samuel's IEP, his expected level of participation is that he will tactily and visually explore the pages of the Littlest Pumpkin book and will turn the pages as appropriate. Amy also asked Samuel to respond to some simple requests, such as find the pumpkin. During the pumpkin puzzle activity, Samuel finds the correct puzzle pieces requested and places it into place with some gentle assistance from Amy. Depending upon the goals for your student, you will have different expectations for how the student uses materials, such as On the Way to Literacy book. This is a starting point for Samuel. Lynn, on the other hand, has been a Braille reader for a few years, and her literacy skills allow her to read for leisure. Here, Lynn is reading Looking Out for Sarah from the DuPont series print Braille books with her mother.
Tones. What's in it? There's Sarah sitting on her bed, and there's a picture of a big black dog, and he's licking her on the chin.
What color is his ear?
His ears are black too. They're the same color as he's black all over.
Although Lynn is a Braille reader, she benefits from assistance from her mother, especially when reading books with new vocabulary.
Land in her.
His paw landed in her lap.
Sometimes Lynn enjoys using her Braille skills to play games such as Web Chase, an originally designed board game by APH to help develop important tactile skills within a fun, recreational context. During the course of the game, Lynn practices reading, tactual scanning, directionality, counting, following directions, and other important skills.
What's on the round ones? Huh? A butterfly. Your turn. Because you got to count the lines. Go on around. Lift your elbow up just a little bit. Let's bring the game board to you. What's that? Okay.
Tyler is a proficient Braille reader and writer. This level of skill does not come easily for a child who's deafblind. Before Braille proficiency, there was a lot of work for Tyler and his parents. Let's listen as Stephanie and Kurt talk about Tyler's early introduction to literacy using APH's On the Way to Literacy series of books.
And also very early on, we were very, very fortunate to acquire a whole set of On the Way to Literacy books, the Braille Tactile books. All but one of which we have now passed on to other kids, but we're keeping something special, for sentimental reasons. And so his younger siblings can have an idea of what it is that Tyler was working with when he was little as compared to the kinds of books they had when they were small.
As you can tell, we read those a lot.
They were wonderful, wonderful books. I mean, they'd probably be great for any kid. He just happened to be the first one and the one who benefited from the most. What else did we do? We were sleeping. But I have no doubt that these books started him on the way to a love of reading. And for a number of reasons, reading has just been his thing.
Did you hear what Stephanie said about the On the Way to Literacy books leading to Tyler's love of reading? It's a pretty strong endorsement. Just as reading to sighted and hearing children at an early age is important, early literacy exposure is critical for children who are deafblind. Tyler also had early experiences with the APH Lightbox and materials. As Stephanie and Kurt tell us, Tyler learned many invaluable skills with the Lightbox.
So when Tyler was very small, we propped him up in a little chair in front of the Lightbox. Yeah, we had the APH Lightbox and I think 3 sets of materials that went with those. And so one of the first things we did with Tyler is we would put up a little gel with a picture of an object, for example, a blue cup, and then we would get a blue cup. And Tyler would put his face right down near it, and we'd say, Tyler, that's a picture of a blue cup. Tyler, here's a blue cup. And we did the same thing with a green sock or a red toothbrush, anything that had a distinct color and shape. And Tyler started realizing that there was a difference, even though one was a picture and one was real, and he would reach for the right one. We'd say, Tyler, where's the picture of the blue cup? Tyler, where's the green sock? And he would find them.
Braille instruction using the Braille Writer started at a young age for Tyler, and Stephanie talks about the adaptation his teachers used to help keep his small fingers on the keys.
Oh,
Tyler, you started using the Braille Writer at Children's Center for the Visually Impaired when he was in preschool. I think he must have been about 3. When they start the kids getting familiar with the Braille Writer, they tape some little they call them cubbies that look like little boxes to help the kids' fingers stay on the right key.
Even with technology that's available today, Tyler continues to use the Perkins Braille Writer from APH for various purposes. Tyler is the only student who is deafblind to have participated in the National Braille Challenge, a Braille competition that takes place at the Braille Institute in Los Angeles, California each year. He has competed in the competition for the past 3 years and along with all of the competitors has used the Braille Writer during the challenge, which involves Braille speed, accuracy, comprehension, and more. While at the Braille Challenge, Tyler had a good time exploring products at the APH exhibit. Tyler says that in addition to APH products, he likes the APH website. Let's hear what he says about it.
Tell me about the website.
This website, by the way, the APH website is very accessible. I would have to compliment the webmaster if ever.
Okay.
That's great. Tyler says that the APH website is very accessible and easy to navigate. And he'd like to congratulate the APH webmaster for making the site so easy to get around. Even though Tyler says that his favorite reading these days is technical support information, it looks like he still has time to read his favorite On the Way to Literacy book, Something Special, to his sister Molly.
You. Okay, Tyler.
Something special.
This is a
Very special book for a very special person.
You.
Am I reading the print?
No, I'm remembering.
We hope that during the course of this video, you have seen how APH products have been of value to these students who are deafblind, and that you will consider how these and other APH products may also benefit your students who are deafblind or who are blind with additional disabilities. For more information about APH and its products, go online at www.aph.org or call 1-800-223-1839.
American Printing House for the Blind presents another homegrown video, students who are deafblind using APH products. APH offers a special thanks to the children and families who generously shared their time and their stories. Blake Watts, his mother Whitney Watts, and his early interventionist Melissa Evers. Samuel Fons and his teacher Amy Fisher. Lynn Ogeline and her mother Ann Cartwright. Tyler Kavanaugh and his parents Stephanie and Kurt Kavanaugh. Thanks to Kathy Nelson, PhD, University of Utah. Israel Alley Green and his mother Alice Elizabeth Sweeney. Wright Elementary School, Shelbyville, Kentucky. Cherokee Park, Louisville, Kentucky. Video editors, Sandy Baker, Alan Smithy III. Video reviewers, Janie Blom, Scott Blom, Bob Brasher, Maria Delgado, Will Evans. Script writer, Sandy Baker. Producer, Sandy Baker.